Okay, so you know how much we love to dig into stuff, and today's like a whole new level of digging. I gotta say,
Yeah.
it's not an article, it's not research, it's not data. It's you gave us a short story to look at
Yeah.
called "The Golden Plates,"
Right.
and it was actually tucked away in a PDF, like that wasn't even like the main event.
Right.
But
Hidden in plain sight.
yeah,
Yeah.
but it felt like, man, if we really kind of pick this apart,
Yeah.
there's gonna be some really cool stuff to learn here.
Absolutely.
And I and I
Uh,
I I think our mission today isn't to just tell you what happens in the story, but to
right.
to really get into
The heart of it.
the heart of the mystery that seems to be at the center of it,
Absolutely.
and all the different ways that we could maybe interpret it.
Yeah, because it's not about historical events and facts. It's about, kind of what truths does this story reveal about people,
Yeah.
about these aha moments, about the things we don't know.
Yeah.
And this particular one, we're going to be following two people mainly.
Yeah.
Kwame, who's a young man who's working the land, and Father Jabari, who's the priest of his village. And it's that encounter between those two that kind of set off this chain of strange events.
Okay, so let's unpack this a little bit.
Yeah.
So it all begins with Kwame in his field,
Yep.
and the story does such a beautiful job of painting this very vivid scene.
Absolutely.
Like the sun is out, there's this beautiful golden light over everything.
Yeah.
And he's guiding his oxen. You get this sense of this connection that
Yeah.
he has to the earth, this rhythm to his work,
Yeah.
this daily labor.
Well, and the thing is, that initial image of Kwame and his work is really important because it's like it establishes this kind of foundation of tradition and routine,
Yeah.
right? And then a very tangible way that routine is broken.
Yeah.
The plow hits something solid. Like it's
Yeah.
a very jarring small event,
Yeah.
but that's the spark that ignites everything else.
Right. And what he unearths is not a rock.
It's this golden plate, and the story emphasizes how smooth it feels, how cold it is to the touch, and it's got these intricate carvings, like symbols that he doesn't recognize.
Right.
And you get this immediate sense of wonder from Kwame,
Absolutely.
but also this feeling that like he's been entrusted with something.
Yes.
Like this isn't just his,
Yeah.
it's something bigger. And what's really fascinating here is that instead of trying to figure it out himself or even keep it a secret,
Right.
he goes straight to the village priest,
Yes.
to this authority figure, which tells us something about the community that religious leaders, they hold a lot of influence.
Right.
They're the keepers of knowledge.
Right. So this brings us to chapter 2,
Yeah.
and Father Jabari, the priest who is described as this man of great wisdom,
Right.
someone
Respected.
someone who's held in high regard by everyone.
Yeah.
And his reaction to the golden plate is almost as powerful as Kwame's. It's
Right.
like astonishment and this murmuring about great secrets.
Right. And what happens there is there's this subtle power shift.
Yeah.
Kwame made the discovery,
Yes.
but now he's deferring to the priest.
Yeah.
His question is, what should I do? Like,
Right.
he's seeking guidance from the priest,
Right.
and the priest says, leave it with me, I will seek guidance.
Yeah.
Which seems totally reasonable on the surface, right?
Yeah.
Because he's the priest. You would expect him to have access to things that a normal villager wouldn't.
Yeah, but there's this detail that I found really interesting, which is Kwame's unease.
Right?
Like he has this slight hesitation,
Yeah.
even though he ultimately places his trust in the priest.
Yes.
Like it's this little hint
Yeah.
that maybe things aren't as straightforward as they seem.
Well, right.
And then this happens. Father Jabari locks the church doors tightly.
Uh-huh.
Is it to protect something sacred, or is there something more going on here?
Well, it's interesting, right? Because you could say it's just security because it's potentially valuable or an important artifact, but knowing what happens later, you have to wonder if he was securing it for a more personal reason from the very start.
Yeah.
And then the real turning point,
Yeah.
Father Jabari disappears that night
Gone.
without a word,
Poof.
doesn't tell
Yeah,
anybody.
that's when the story really throws us for a loop.
Right.
1 minute he's there, this respected figure with this mysterious object,
Yeah.
and then he's gone.
Right.
So in chapter 3, we get to experience this week of his absence.
Right.
And you can just imagine the village buzzing.
Right. All the theories and the gossip.
Yeah. What do you think that week would have felt like for Kwame?
Oh, it would have been so unsettling
Yeah.
because it would have disrupted their entire routine,
Yeah.
this sense of order that they have. And then he reappears just as suddenly as he left
Right.
a week later. But it's how he returns.
Yeah.
Approval struck.
Yeah. Kicking up all this dust.
Yeah, and it's blue.
Yeah, it's blue.
It's this very jarring modern vehicle in this very simple traditional setting.
Yeah. And all the villagers, they just gather in silence.
Right. They're just watching, totally baffled.
Yeah. What's going on?
What is happening?
And then the big reveal.
Right.
It's not gold. It's not anthers.
No.
It's a brand new bicycle.
Yep.
Did not see that coming.
Nope.
So chapter 4, we learned about this surprising gift.
Yes.
Father Jabari says to Kwame, my son, this is for you.
A reward for your honesty.
Yeah,
he says.
the reward for your honesty.
Yeah.
And it seems like a kind gesture on the surface.
Right.
But considering all the secrecy, the disappearance,
Yeah, you can't help but wonder
you got to think,
if there's another motive.
yeah, is he trying to placate Kwame or even the whole village?
Possibly.
And Kwame's reaction feels very authentic.
Right.
He hesitates for a second, and then you see this wonder kind of wash over him as he's looking at this shiny red frame and the chrome handlebars.
Yeah, he never had a bike before.
Yeah, this is a big deal for him.
He
But then we get the villagers' reaction,
Yeah.
which is much more layered. Some of them are like, wow, that's really generous.
Right.
That's our priest.
Good guy.
But then there's this other group that are like,
Where'd he get the money for that?
yeah, where did this come from?
Yeah.
And they start whispering,
Right.
and rumors start flying.
Well, and that's what's so interesting about it, right? Because it really gets to human nature.
Yeah.
We like to have an explanation,
We have to know.
even if we have to make it up.
Yeah.
So you have this wealthy relative, or maybe he sold the plate.
Right.
Those are the things that immediately come to mind.
Yeah.
But it's just so ambiguous, the
Yeah.
whole situation. You just don't know
Yeah.
what's really going on.
So just when you think things are maybe calming down,
Right.
we get to chapter 5,
Okay.
and Father Jabari is like, oh, by the way, I got to go to England.
Yeah, urgent matter.
Yeah.
Gotta go.
Something came up,
Right.
and then more people show up.
Yep. These laborers all in red uniforms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're helping him load his stuff into the truck.
Right, but it's like his books and bags of clothes and a small chest. It doesn't seem like a lot of stuff.
It doesn't seem like he needs that huge truck.
Right.
What do you think about that?
I think that just adds to the mystery
Yeah.
because either he's not going for very long,
Right.
or maybe he has other reasons for needing such a big vehicle,
Right.
reasons that we can't see.
Yeah, and Kwame's just standing there with his new bicycle watching all of this.
Yeah, he's got this gift, but he still doesn't understand anything.
He's got more questions than answers.
Absolutely. And then the truck drives off,
Yeah, big cloud of dust.
leaving Kwame there with his questions.
And that leads us to chapter 6,
Yeah,
which is the aftermath.
right.
The village is buzzing,
Oh, yeah, they're all talking.
as you would expect after
Absolutely.
this wild series of events.
Right.
And the story lays out these contrasting points of view so well.
Yeah.
You got one group who's like, the bicycle proves he's a good guy.
Yeah.
He's generous.
He's honest. He's a man of integrity.
Right.
And then you got this other group who are like, no way.
He sold in the gold and he's getting out of here.
Yeah, he's gone.
Right.
This is a
It's classic.
yeah. This is a runner.
Yeah.
And I love how it captures that feeling of trying to figure out
Right.
something.
When you have no information.
Yeah, you have no facts.
Right.
You're just trying to put the pieces together.
Right.
And then there's this.
Oh, and then the elder
Yeah, the elder mentions
this long-standing rumor
Yeah.
that Father Jabari was going to inherit a bunch of money.
Right.
So
So maybe
Like,
there's another
the trigger.
explanation for the bicycle,
yeah,
for the sudden trip to England.
maybe it has nothing to do with the golden plate.
Right.
It's something completely different.
Yeah, it reminds us that there's all this history and context that
Yeah. We don't know.
we don't know. We're not part of this village. So you
Absolutely.
don't get to see all that.
So chapter 7 rolls around and our focus shifts back to Kwame.
Ah,
He's still in the dark about everything.
right.
He doesn't know what Father Jabari's motives are.
Yeah,
He doesn't know what happened to the plate.
right.
But there's something about that bicycle.
Yeah, it represents something new,
Yeah.
a new possibility.
It's like opportunity.
Yeah,
Yeah, and after a life of, working the land with oxen,
yeah,
this changes everything for him.
yeah. He can move. He can explore.
Yeah.
The world just opened up
Yeah.
in a way that it couldn't before.
And that image of him getting on the bike
Yeah,
and riding down the road toward the horizon with a smile on his face.
it's so hopeful.
Yeah.
It's like
And-
this sense of forward momentum,
Yeah.
despite all the unanswered questions.
So we're at the end of this
Yeah.
deep dive into the golden plates.
Right.
And we've got some some pretty big loose ends to tie up.
Absolutely.
What was that golden plate all about? Where did he get the bicycle and the truck?
Right.
Was England even real?
Yeah. Was that a lie?
Or was that a convenient excuse to get out of town?
Right.
Like, what
What
was
was really
really
going on?
Yeah, and
I think what makes stories like this so fascinating
Yeah.
is that we don't get all the answers.
right.
You know, it's not like a neat and tidy little package.
Yeah,
But it makes us really think and engage with the story and come up with our own interpretations.
yeah. And we see that even in the village.
Absolutely.
Like, we got the people who believe in the priest,
Yep.
and then we got the people who are suspicious.
Yeah,
And we know you love to look at things from different angles.
absolutely. Always more than one way to see things.
Exactly. So here's a thought for you to chew on.
Okay.
What does that bicycle represent for Kwame?
Yeah.
Is it just
It's just a
a
gift.
reward for honesty? Or is it,
Is it something more?
yeah, is it opportunity?
Right.
Is it a chance for something completely new?
Is it a chance
Yeah.
to break free
Yeah, to break free from the only life he's ever known.
from the tradition, from the routine?
Yeah, and if you were Kwame,
Yeah.
knowing only what
He knew.
he knew, what would you have thought about Father Jabari?
Right?
About the disappearance, about the gold, about the bicycle?
Would you have trusted him?
Yeah. Would you have been suspicious? Would you have been happy?
Right. Would you have been scared?
It's a story
It sticks with you.
that makes you
It makes you think.
think. Yeah.
Even after you're done reading it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Cool stuff.
So thanks for bringing this one.
Yeah, this was a fun one.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for joining us on this deep dive, and we'll see you next time.